You already know what time it is. Welcome back to Sports Hop. It's your boy Mac B. We got another dope show for you today. I got my man Kapeash, my co-host, in the building. I got a special guest MC in the streets, always grinding, doing his thing. I got the real young LA in the building. And I also got TB in the building, man. How y'all feeling? Welcome to the couch.
Hey, man, we good. I appreciate you having us, man. Dope vibes in here since we've been here so far, man.
Absolutely. We appreciate y'all being here.
Yes,
so
sir.
let's just jump right in, man. Talk to me about your early childhood, man, your musical influences. Who kind of motivated you to even consider hopping in the game and doing what you do now?
Okay, I lived all around LA, so that's kind of how I got the name Young LA.
Yeah.
The whole LA County. I probably moved maybe 25, 30 times in LA since I've been alive. So I lived here, there, Gardena, Compton, Long Beach, Orange County, Hollywood, and all that.
Dang.
So that's kind of how my upbringing was. I'm bouncing around different schools, different neighborhoods, but I lived in there long enough where people kind of like say I grew up with them. So basically all the different spots, people say I grew up with them. So I'm just Young LA, because if I go over there, they're like, yeah, he used to live over here. He used to live over here. So that's kind of most of it. But the music side of it, when I was in high school, one of my cousins, he was from Virginia. He flew out here and was living out here with us and was staying in my room and shit.
Yeah.
I had like a couch bed with the bottom breakdown of this, and then the top was a bunk bed. So he'd be at night, he was writing raps. So I wake up every so often from the light being on, and I was just like, let me hear it. And I started like inserting different bars I think he should add, and he always went with it. So sooner or later, he just told me to get a book, and start writing my own raps and shit. So I did, and then one day when I moved to Long Beach, we used to play basketball every Sunday and shit. And then I told one of my partners that I was hooping with that I started writing in the book. I'm not a rapper, but I've been writing raps. It was just something I was, kind of doing. So I was almost like somebody having a diary to that point, because I never planned on reading it to nobody. I just was doing it just to get dope. And then I told him about it, and he read one of them to him, and he liked it. We was playing basketball. After the basketball session was over, everybody started rapping. It turned into a cipher for some reason, and he just was like, hey, my boy know how to rap. That's dope. That my nigga, like, I told you that. And honestly, from that time when I spit in front of everybody, the reaction I got back, they already liked it. Like I had already been rapping. It was already dope. So from then, I just kept going.
Right. And you've lived in a lot of places all over LA. Yeah. Any place in particular, like your favorite place, or maybe something that was the most memorable for you?
Me being Young LA, I try not to hold no favorites, no favoritism, because everybody in LA is like a chaotic area as far as people, when they say they from over here, and then you say you from over there, and you try to say, I like that over there. So I don't really hold no spot over it. I love the whole city of LA. I love the Crips, the Bloods, the SAs, the ladies, kids growing up, the people unfortunate. I fuck with everybody. But if I was to say, I'll probably say the beach or something. That's the thing that I think about LA that we got that nobody got. So I try to get up and go experience that, go catch a vibe early in the morning. That's like one of the things that's calm you and soothe you, you know what I mean? You know how some people go take their shoes off and hug trees and do crazy stuff? For us, we kind of going back to ground zero when we walk around on the beach with our shoes off. So I try to do that. Smoke a little bit. Really. Yes. Sir. I didn't wrote a song or two up there on the beach, just vibing. You feel me? But yeah, I would say the beach if I'm gonna say an area for LA. Come to the beach, man. Right.
Good. Talk to me about your handle, The Real Young LA. Did you come up with that, man? Did somebody give you the name? How did that come about?
It was kind of like, it kind of morphed into a name with people giving it to me. And then as I'm having the name, it just kept breaking into different names. But my name really started as Nonchalant.
Okay.
Nonchalant. And then the reason, like, I wanted my real name is one of the names when I tell people keep saying, what you say your name was? So I didn't want my rap name to be a name when I say it, and people keep saying, what did you say? What did you say? So when I said Nonchalant, that was one of the names where people say, can you repeat that again? So then my friends, they stopped saying Nonchalant. They just start calling me Lant, like to break it up. You know what I mean? So that was L-A-N-T. And then when I started rapping, I was living in Long Beach. So kind of me getting dope, people wanted to say like, oh, my boy, he from over here with us. And I'm trying to tell them like, nah, bro, I grew up in LA. I just moved around, living out here right now. So me switching my name to Young LA was in between the nonchalant name and me being from LA and being dope, getting dope started in Long Beach and letting people know that I'm not from out here, even though I got love for it and I'm vibing it with all the people that I'm fucking with out here. You know what I mean? So that's how the Young LA name started. And then the real got through on it as I started popping and doing music. My name started getting bigger. Another dude from Atlanta, he said his initials is LA, so that's why he used it. But everybody's like, nah, you the real Young LA. So as I was like going through a gray area with my career, where people was like, I had songs with producers who would produce for T.I. album and certain stuff. So they start looking at me like, I don't know if I could work with you because you might mess up my industry. So certain people would back off me. Some people was you know, it was a weird time. But at that time, some people would even tell me, you should change your name, you should do this, you should do that. And then I was just, you know, trying to figure it out. But as I was going around, people would be screaming at me like, I know the real Young LA. I know the real. And just keep pressing me like to the point where I was just like, you know what? I ain't gonna change my name. I'm just the real Young LA. So me adding the real on it made it somewhat of a different name. Right. But in reality, it's still the same name. I'm just letting you know, like, you ain't gotta do no digging. Right. You know the truth. Find the right one. It'll set you free. So
you own it.
And even I know the real thing. I had to learn that when you know what you're doing, you don't have to try to convince people or tell people. Because when back then I was trying to tell them, no, I'm the real Young LA. I started doing, and they, you know, they look at the big old picture and they believe the picture sometimes. But I was on MySpace. I had records out. I had all kind of stuff going. Yeah. I was on a company called Yums, and that's kind of how it all mixed together. But Yums had,
remember Yums?
Yeah, they had signed Soulja Boy back then, and they was like the face of the company. So Interscope was mixed in with that when they was signing them. And then the other dude came and got signed to Interscope. So it was like they was talking about Young LA because I was the only person in LA with that clothing brand. But at the same time, his name was Young Lay. So I think he just like, well, fuck it, and that's the name. But I don't really put too much negative energy on it. It's positive.
I feel you.
And that's another reason why I was grinding so hard, because at one time I was grinding to go against the machine. And I know I had to be everywhere, do everything. And it take a lot of resources and a lot of time, but I put the resources and time in. So, for real.
Yeah. And speaking about being everywhere, man, I see you in the streets on your grizzle, bro.
Yeah.
Like for years, I've seen you out there at shows, events, you know, doing your thing, networking, bro. And a lot of artists, man, they're dope. They have talent, but they don't always have that work ethic. One thing that separates you from a lot of cats, bro, is you really grind.
Yeah.
So let's pivot into, you know, Never Not Working, right?
Okay,
which is, you know, the brand.
The brand. So Never Not Working. As a kid, my pops died early. So around 10, 11, I had the choices. I was going to watch my mom struggle, or was I going to hustle? Because you can stay a kid and just act like you don't see it and go on, or you can pay attention and start applying pressure. So I paid attention and I started applying pressure. So as a kid, I was already doing good with school. I started selling incense or doing whatever just to start learning to hustle. But as that name thing happened, I learned that I had to turn it up to the next level for me to be Young LA in the city of LA and the world appreciate it. So I started grinding real hard. And then at some point, I just realized that I don't know how to not do this now. I wake up, I work 18-hour days. I stand up for 18 hours. I sleep for 3 hours and go
sacrifice.
Weeks. Yeah, that's good. It's really like you got to be on it like you want it, and you might get something you never had. You know what I'm saying? So I really just I tell people my brand is Never Not Working, and I really live by it. So that's the part where people really like, damn, this nigga really never not working. So everybody around me never not working. I just, you know, when you want to change something, you got to change yourself. So I started doing it. I started watching like documentaries. I see people like Atlanta, they really good on it. The Bay, they really good on it.
Oh, yeah.
They get up and
go get it.
If you work for 8 hours to a job, so for you to work for yourself, you got to work 16 hours. You got to work 2 shifts. But for some people, they don't even want to put 8 hours in. So I had to learn how to put the 8 hours in. And then sometimes you might have to work for somebody else to be able to work for yourself. So you got to put another 8. Then when you get off, you tired. Now you want to go. But now this is your time for you to put in your own career. So when you just realize you got to put all that time in there at all times to get ahead. Now, if you just want to be maintaining and status quo, then you could just do your job and go home. You'll make it. You'll pay bills. But if you want to try to go to Miami and invest in your music and have dreams and all that,
right?
Yeah, you got to really get up and make something shake. You know?
Real talk.
For it.
Walk our viewers through how you linked up with TB over here. I know you got some slaps you produce. You're also an artist, aka The Business.
Yeah.
Talk to me about how that relationship came about and what are y'all doing right now?
Me and TB, we met in high school.
Y'all go way back.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we was graduating high school, we was already popping on a big label. We was recording in the same studio where Pac was out there in
That's major.
Yeah, like Hollywood. So
That's major.
it was a big company we was with at the time, and we was just bubbling. So at that time, he was already dropping hard beats and just going crazy. To me, it was like almost like High Mustard type of beat way back then already.
Mustard
so
with
dope.
YG type thing.
So one of the artists I was working with, my boy named LBG, he was going around getting beats, and I used to slide with him. And one of his cousins, we all be linking up and be at like a little back house. And when we put up, he's slapping shit. And then since then, it was way back then. We've been locked in ever since then. So he one of the people that, like, when I say I got shit, he support me, I support him. So we got like that type of relationship. Like when you doing music or you doing anything, like that's where people start driving together to go to jobs to save money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We going to the same place already. We can carpool. So it's just we both grinding in the music, and we've been carpooling together, doing different shows and just smashing. But he dope. You know what I mean?
Y'all like Batman and Robin.
That's
out
dope.
here.
Make a move. That's dope.
And then also like he made, sometimes it's like we was together just being friends, and then it turns into certain opportunities. So sometimes we'll be kicking it, and then somebody call me, come to the studio, and I get in there, damn, I need some beats. And then he like, oh man, first one he slap is a banger, and
Cooking.
we already go into it. And it's just
Cooking.
sometimes you be with different beat makers, and you'll be sitting with them for hours to find a good beat. You know what I mean? But man, he done made stuff right in front of me, and it was just a slap. So it's just crazy to have a good relationship with people you could bond with. They grind hard, and then we just been locked in for so long that I want to make sure that he comfortable in life. That's how we do it. So if we're somewhere and I ain't know he was gonna be there, I'll make sure I come over there. You good, bro? Solid, and then spin. Like, it don't gotta be no more than that, but just a courtesy check. I always gonna make sure my boy good, and it's the same. So
Right. And TB, talk to me about your creative process, man. When you make these beats, do you apply any kind of life experiences? What motivates you to do what you do and start cooking in the lab? Break that down for us.
I think that the way my creative space just comes with being around the vibe of people. I try to absorb the vibe and the energy of people, and I think my sauce comes in after that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I think I compliment off of people's vibes the best, simply because that's how we really, a lot of us find motivation and inspiration through the people around us. You know what I mean? So that's how I do it, man. If I'm doing something for myself, man, it could be, I'm kind of various with how I create, or whether it's sampling, or whether it's creating something original straight from scratch. It could be anything. It's a wide range when I'm doing it for myself. But when I'm with other people, I think they are the inspiration for me, because you want to create a vibe that matches their wave. You know what I mean?
Right. And you kind of build that chemistry over time. You two, like high school.
Yeah.
Now you grown men.
that's like behind the back pass. I know he gonna be right there. It's like that type of vibe.
The alley-oop.
I seen, actually, I think I learned a lot by seeing people work and seeing their tendencies
Yeah.
from working, and that's an important part of being a producer, is studying the artist and
Who did you
creating
study?
something what they like, or something of their preference.
Who's your favorite producer? And like, who did you study?
Man, producers, man, it's not even really a hip hop thing, really. I like a lot of different music.
Mm-hmm.
I started really, jazz was a big
Love jazz.
Dope.
inspiration for me, because my pops like to listen to a lot of jazz. So a lot of my my inspiration came from like Kenny G, and like even BB King back in the
Dope.
day.
Legend.
Like,
Yeah.
I like to
Dope.
sample, so we take.
I mess with all
like,
that.
Back in the day, I got a lot of different inspirations. Michael Jackson, Prince.
He right
you name
behind
it,
you.
man. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
That's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah.
That's dope, man.
As far as hip hop, it's a lot of different people too.
And it's a big thing, difference between a beat maker and a producer. 'Cause
Right.
a beat maker just send you the beat, and you do whatever you do, and then you send it back to them. But a producer, they be wanting to be part of the process, because they might just give you, they might switch the beat to how your song going, or they might have a suggestion on even how you might want to record the way you say it, or even what you're saying. You know
Make
what
it
I mean?
better.
But they want to be part of the process, so they can make sure it's like the beat, the song represent them, so they want to make sure it come out dope. And he do that like a producer. He want to be there. Some people just send it. They know I'm dope. They let me. But some people send it. Let me know when you're recording it, so I can pull up and we can vibe. So that's how
That's
we
cool.
usually do it though.
Right. You dropped Trapped in LA in 2019. That's a dope record, by the way. You got a lot of bangers on there, man.
Thank you.
Talk to me about that project, your involvement in that as well, and tell me how that worked out for you.
That time it was a gray area in my life. I was moving around real fast.
Yeah.
Doing a whole lot. And it's crazy because now people kind of get it. Back then when I was doing it, it was like, it looked like you just trying to be cool. But now it's like rap is a dangerous job, and then
Hell
LA
yeah.
is a dangerous city. So
Right.
now when you mix these two things together, we start getting a nasty little chemistry. But I just was protecting minds and mine. So at that time I had got caught up. I had got into a case and I was on probation.
Yeah.
So the young LA that everybody knew was outside every day, riding around any city from Hollywood to Orange County, like we was talking about.
Carefree.
Now I'm on probation, and I know if I operate how I usually operate, I'm gonna keep getting in contact with the police, and that's not gonna help me. Or I need to learn, and I also need to learn how to become a new person, because to being the outside person, you looking at stuff and you not being able to be there, you are self-destruct because you're not trying to let it go. Sometimes you're not gonna be able to do it. You can't go. You gotta be here. It was Miami trips in New York, certain stuff I was flying I'm supposed to go to that now you just can't go to. So
Gotta lay low.
I had to understand that. So when I said that, I said I was trapped in LA.
Mm.
You get me?
I feel you.
I get
So, and I had bail, and I had lawyers to pay.
Yeah.
I had rent, all the music, the full thing still rotating. I'm still fully young LA.
Yeah.
But I got something over me, and if I don't have
Life.
this,
Life.
it was big. So
Man.
Jeez.
me doing that, it was serious because I put it off, and I really was trapped in LA, and everybody from all over the world would pull up right there where I was with that was really a spot right there.
Yeah.
The back door of my house.
Yeah.
So that picture was really where people would be coming, and I'll be there
Yeah.
for days sitting right there at that spot.
Yeah. That artwork goes hard
That
too. That
does.
album
That's a
cover, I'm
dope
like,
album cover.
that's dope,
Yeah,
bro.
so that's what Trapped in LA was standing for at that time, and it made me a new person because now I don't just go everywhere. I just don't hop
Yeah.
up and you know what, I need to, sometimes I see people and I just say a deuce and show love and go. But back then, what you doing? Oh, let me get in your mix. And sometimes I don't need to do that. I just gotta pay attention and make sure I can make it back home smoothly. So this was a testament to me rapping, because at that time it was kind of like, I might have to stop rapping for a little while so I could take care of my business. And one of my partners named Bert, he in the music business with me, but he really in the he won cannabis cups for his different strands and stuff.
Okay.
And we was both sponsored by LA Kush.
Right.
So he seen what I was going through, and he was just like, you know what? I got something for you. And he booked like a couple 12-hour sessions. And in that session, I did all of the songs, everybody pull up like a big old kind of party, because that was probably the only time I really left.
A reunion.
Yeah. And we just worked, mastered out in probably like 3 or 4 sessions, got it in and dropped it to the world. But it was probably going to be a long gap from time I was dropping Never Not Working to the time I re-dropped it if I wouldn't have dropped it. So this solidified me and kept me in motion. He put up in there, and one of the times just kind of, I think it was, you got one on here, don't you?
That was Throwback Thursday.
Throwback
Yeah.
Thursday.
So on this one, he put up in
TBT.
Yeah, we did a song, and it was kind of like, I hadn't really made no girl songs, kind of like this really like a stripper song, if you want to say.
Right.
And I just thought it was dope, because when he played the beat, we was just vibing, and I was just like, she throw it back like it's Thursday. And,
I like that.
Throwback Thursday
like
was,
I got
that's
you.
still everybody's TBT in it, so I'm just saying throw it back like it's Thursday.
Yeah.
So when we dropped that thing,
I was in the Valley.
It's crazy. Yeah, we did a couple,
session.
and it was the same thing. Another thing that was dope about this, because I dropped this album right before the pandemic, so everybody
was trapped.
trapped in LA. So people start calling
Worldwide.
They start calling me,
insane.
oh, like you predicted it and certain stuff. And
That's what I was about to say.
Certain bars
crazy.
I had in the songs, it was like, I think I said something about not Anita Baker, one of the singers like that, but she ended up passing away, Patti LaBelle.
Oh, wow.
One of them
Yeah.
like that I said, and it just
It happened.
it's just all like,
That's
it was
crazy.
like you kind of predicted certain
Right.
stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, like I said, it was all around my life, but if it helped me, because like I said, when the pandemic came, everybody had to learn how to live in the house. I had already mastered it now.
Yeah.
So when the pandemic came, I low-key tore it up, because all the big clubs was closed, all of the record labels wasn't really
Everything
funding
was shut
nobody.
down.
So this was really our time, and then we really was tearing their ass up during that time. So the Trapped in LA led to the pandemic, which led to me being already pandemic proof, if you want to say that.
Right. I like that pandemic
Yeah.
proof.
Damn.
Yeah,
I'm going to call you Youngstradamus as well. The real young LA, Youngstradamus.
Yeah.
Calling it out before it went down.
Yeah.
So you heard it here first. That's a Sports Hop
I was
exclusive.
before. Hey,
So you know what
you heard
time it
here
is.
first.
Man, your flow, man, and you know, I'm a student of hip hop, man, all the way back to, you know, New York to the West Coast. Your flow is so distinct, man. Your cadence, your wordplay. When I hear the real young LA spit, I know who it is. In other words, you don't sound like nobody else, man. I really like your flow and your delivery. We're gonna play a clip of a joint, The Most High.
Yeah.
And you really had me on cloud 9 when I was peeping game on that.
That's right. That's
Solomon,
right.
let's make that happen, Cap.
Playing, I'm the coach like Greg Popovich. Really stepping on them. It's 1,200 just to cop my kicks. Got it out the mud. I found a crew. Now we count loot. Squad with me. We all dropped the deuce in the Mountain Dew. Miami nights. I be spinning blues at the Fountain Blue. This that real shit. Them other dudes just be sounding cool. Pocket watching. Clip hanging out the pocket rocket. I'm the plug. Never let them knock me out the socket. Plenty profits. In the city, I'm a trending topic.
Yeah, man,
Okay.
that's hot, man. In the city, I'm a trending topic.
Yes, sir.
You know, just the flow, bro, the wordplay. You got a lot of bangers, man, but that one stood out to me, man. I just like the vibe with the mic, and then you got the scenery behind you.
LA in the back.
You know,
Come on.
Yeah.
I ain't seen that much, man. I think you were one of the first to kind of bring that on the scene.
Yeah, no,
You know,
a lot of people was doing the mic scenes, but they wasn't doing it with a dope background.
With- that's
It would
what I'm
just
saying, with
be
the
like
backdrop.
a white wall or
Yeah.
black wall, or maybe in the alley, something
Yeah.
grimy, but nothing where it was like a beautiful
Yeah.
vibe,
Yeah.
and you just spitting in. I dropped that on 420, so it was really like a eye for 420.
That was hard, man. The Most High. Make sure y'all cop all of his albums. I mean, the real young LA is definitely spitting some bars. Y'all know what time it is. Let's also talk about broadcasting live.
Broadcasting live, yeah, that's
You
the
know,
latest project.
I love that artwork where you rest in peace to the legendary Chick Hearn.
Yes, sir. And the person who made the artwork is the same person who made the artwork for Tupac.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Shout out to Pac.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shout out to Risky Business. That's the name of the person. So
Okay. Risky business.
yeah, it was just crazy because, like I said, when I thought about it,
It's
it was
dope.
like trying to, you know, when you go to the Staples Center, one of the things that you do is you go sit down there with
Chick
Hearns. The seat is open, so anybody can stop. So anybody from out of town, when you come out here, you go to the Staples Center. It's a spot right there. You sit down, and you get to be that person in that seat next to him.
Right.
So my whole thing was, I'm like a voice of LA, and everybody respected him to be a voice of LA. So to me, it was kind of like I'm broadcasting live from LA, because a lot of people, they say they from LA, but they not here. Like,
Right.
they from here, or they be around this motherfucker, but they not here, here right now.
No.
You know what I mean? So I'm broadcasting live from LA, telling you, giving you the vibe of what's really going on. So I just thought, what was the best way to do it is, and then, you know, the world already know the Staples Center. And now what was crazy, because this happened too, is the Staples Center turns into the crypto arena. So in that, when I dropped this, it turned into like a classic even more now, because the Staples Center is not something you see no more, and everybody loved that.
They should have never changed it, by the way.
I would-
Crypto.com, I'm not feeling it. I'm
I
sorry.
live right down there too.
I can't do it.
It's weird, bro. And I felt like even Kobe and Shaq didn't even like approve of it. They was saying like they wasn't going back down there until
It just
so,
doesn't
I don't
roll
know.
off the tongue right, man.
nowadays everybody's trying to get their money, and
I understand.
you got to
But look what
pay the
happened to
bills.
crypto.
But the crypto was supposed to be a big old money thing, and
Yeah. You know?
so now that you're labeled behind something that's kind of tanked, I don't know.
Yes.
Staples wasn't like my favorite paper spot or printer spot.
Yeah.
It was still, they never did nothing wrong. They always open and they cool.
Yeah.
But the crypto, it's like, I know people mad at cryptocurrency. They put money in there.
Yeah. You just reminding people of bad memories.
Yeah.
When they pull up to watch the Lakers, you reminding folks of losing some money,
I
man.
put 20,000 in that NFT. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I lost some money. I ain't gonna front. I'm hoping it comes back one day.
Hey, man,
We'll see.
patience is a virtue. It's all a trend. You know, when it goes bottom,
Real
it
talk.
go up.
Real talk. Speaking of sports and you know, the Staples Center and the Lakers, we're gonna pivot and talk about, you know, some sports right now, and we're gonna talk about the NFL. The NFL season is only 49 days away. Kansas City is gonna open up on a Thursday against the Lions, against Detroit. But I want to talk about the Jets and Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, legend, future Hall of Famer, got one Super Bowl under his belt. Now he's in New York. I'm from New York, so I can speak on this. Biggest media market in the country.
Right.
A lot of pressure on this man's back from fans, media. You know, I think the Jets are going to be a better team this year. Last year they won 7 games and lost 10, but they were 7-4 and lost 6 straight to end the year. I think Aaron Rodgers will help them become a playoff caliber team, but it's either Super Bowl or bust for the Jets, right? It's either y'all go all the way or it's not going to happen, right?
Right.
Who is your favorite team? I'm sure it's an LA team.
Yeah.
Who do you and TB rock with?
See, my thing, like, again, we was just talking about LA. I don't want a favoritism, so I just go for all LA teams overall. I
Okay.
like the Rams.
Well, we got the Chargers,
Lakers,
too.
Clippers, Chargers, LAFC, and
The
soccer
Galaxy?
Galaxy.
Okay.
I got all the jerseys. I fuck with all of them. The crazy thing is, I live right near the Coliseum, and when the Rams switched back to LA, they were playing there.
Yeah.
So it was like I could see everybody walking. All of the parking lots is right there. They was having what's it called when you barbecuing in the back?
Little
of
tailgate.
tailgate parties right out my window. I could see it.
Yeah.
So to see the Rams that close, it just kind of like made me more. I lean kind of towards more the Rams just because I'm right there and I've seen it all the time.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
overall, I want to say I just go for all the LA teams.
Right. Well, shout out to the Rams. I mean, they won the
Yeah.
Super Bowl 2 years ago.
Hey, I was right
You
there
know.
going up with them too.
You was
I was
turning up.
live. I'm right. I'm talking about like one street over.
Uh-huh.
I had on Rams house slippers sliding through that thing.
Right.
Yes, sir.
Right. Well, shout out to the Rams.
I don't know what team is it.
Who's your
I think
squad,
he
TB?
one of them old school LA people where they like the Raiders.
Honestly, I kind of agree with Young on the whole like not picking one side in LA, because there's still teams in LA or that were in LA that, you know, they're not here no more. Like one of them is the Raiders. You know what I mean?
Right.
Rams was here before too. as far as NFL, I'm like all over the place, man. But I'm really like a Dolphin fan.
Okay, Miami?
Yeah, I'm a Dolphin
Okay.
fan.
I'm a Miami
I started
fan.
being a Dolphin fan because of Ricky Williams back in the day, one of my favorite halfbacks. Now, as far as college, I'm for sure a USC fan.
Okay, shout out to the Trojans. Right.
A Texas Longhorn fan though too, because you know, Ricky Williams played there and won the Heisman there too as well. So,
Okay.
yeah, but LA teams I kind of all root for
Right.
them all, honestly. Like,
Right. Well, you know, this is a sports town, and shout out to all the LA teams. Going back to the Jets, I believe that the Jets are going to make the playoffs. I think they're going to win about 10 to 11 games. I don't think they're going to win the division. Can they get over the hump? Can they beat Mahomes? Can they beat Joe Burrow? I don't think it's going to happen. I'm just keeping it 100. That's what we do on this show, but it remains to be seen, you know, because we got a season ahead of us.
Got to pull us back up at the end of the year and let them know, like, hey, I was right. I told y'all.
Hey, them boys remember when I was on the field last year, and I told everybody that Kansas City and Mahomes were going to go down the field and win it at the end. A lot of y'all didn't listen. You would have won a lot of money if you would have tapped in.
Hello.
On another note, you know,
no, before you switch notes, I got to hear what you guys' favorite teams are.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to just put it out there. The Denver Broncos is my squad. I rock heavy with them since the Elway days, baby. The Broncos, the Orange Crush, them boys. Yeah.
Bronco fans be tripping, so
we passionate. We love our team.
Yeah.
But, man, at the same time, I'm not
in a
one
bad
of these.
way, but I mean, tripping like they let you know that I'm a Bronco fan.
Yeah.
They'll have a little Bronco keychain or something.
Oh, yeah.
There'll be a little Bronco something around.
Yeah.
memorabilia.
It's certain fans where they like obnoxious where you like, man, I get these people away from me. But Broncos ain't really announced. Y'all just gonna have something to let you know I'm a Bronco fan around.
Man, I got Bronco boxers, bro. That's how serious it is with me.
Just in case
Y'all can't see that right now, but I got some Bronco boxers at the house.
Get romantic.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, them horses need to gallop. I don't know what it is.
Hello.
Probably the Rams.
Okay, so that's
LA.
right.
I'll go with LA.
Right.
Or the Raiders.
That's right.
Yeah, the Raiders for sure.
Yeah, that's the classic LA team.
So,
right.
Before, when growing up, that like my pops, he was just straight Raiders and
Of course.
It wasn't no
Right.
question.
Right. Well, I've been a Laker fan even before I came to California. I was a Laker fan when I was like 10, 11 years old. Way back. I'm talking when Magic and them boys were playing. I love the Lakers, and you know, I'm excited in what they're doing. I think Darvin Ham is the right coach for that team. You know, they went further than I thought they would go. They made it to the Western Conference Finals.
Yeah.
Nobody expected that.
Nobody thought about that. They started the season like 2-10.
No, make it to the playoffs.
Right?
You can't,
Right.
That's what they was calling.
We can't be up here and don't make it to the playoffs.
What they call them, the 500 Lakers.
Yeah. But man, I'm loyal to the soil, man. Like,
Too.
if my team, like last year, Denver had a rough year. The Broncos, I still was riding with them. I still had the jersey on. I still went to a couple games. I'm loyal like that. You know, even if my team is really not playing up to their level of expectations,
Right.
I'ma still rock with them. You know what I mean? Y'all seem like those type of fans too.
Nah,
you know what I mean?
That's I mean, if you in, you in. You out, you out. You don't get to do that.
Yeah, you can't be
People
switching
taking off
up.
jerseys
Lakers
after they
do.
lose or something.
Yeah, so I had to come and announce like, hey, I'm gonna be wearing this Rams stuff now because you know Rams wasn't out here, and it was certain like one of my partners.
Yeah.
He stayed a Rams fan when they left. Like, well, I'm still a Rams fan in St. Louis, but when they came back, and I'm like, hey, y'all in LA now. I just want to let everybody know it is okay to switch to being a Rams fan now since they moved back to LA. So. Right. It was a little gray area. People talking shit, especially when they won the Super Bowl. Are you just
Right.
Experience
I wouldn't care if they turn to LA. I'm with them.
You know, speaking of that, it's interesting because they brought the Rams back to LA, which made sense because they have a big fan base. I personally thought they should have took the Chargers and left them in San Diego, and instead of the Raiders going to Vegas, they should have brought the Raiders back to LA because the LA market is a huge Raider fan base. Huge.
Oh, yeah.
That's a fact.
Yeah, that would have made more sense. But I'm gonna tell you this: I know loyal Raider fans that actually moved to Vegas.
Oh, I know.
I was
Wow.
like, he was like, yeah, I'm
That's-
moving. I'm like, what's up? What happened? He was like, no, the vape.
Oh
I got
my
season.
God.
And I looked at him in his eyes, and he had that serious, like, you better not judge me.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, you
That's-
go ahead on with your back,
Yeah.
brother.
Yeah.
But yeah, he hopped up and moved. Like,
Dedication.
that wasn't far enough. Like, y'all
Yeah.
here?
Man,
Jeez.
that's they.
I said,
4 hour,
wow,
5 hour
that's
drive.
hard.
I will give the Raider fans this love, right?
hard.
They are the most diehard, passionate fans on the
That's a
planet.
fact.
I mean, dressing up like
100%.
Darth Vader, the
Yeah.
gorilla dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you got the dude who paints his face gray and
Yeah.
black, silver and
Yeah.
black. I don't know the
Yeah.
dude's name. The dude with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
bald head, the
Oh,
buff
yeah,
dude,
yeah, yeah.
got the spikes around the neck, looking like he came out of the
Yeah.
Terminator movie.
it's
I'm
real.
like, man, these fans, even the women, they get
Yeah.
And
ratchet
it-
too, man.
See,
I'm like,
but I realized also that the Raiders was a lot mixed with the NWA too.
oh yeah, big time.
True.
So it was
Big
all
Wear the
one
hats,
motion.
cube.
Oh,
beard.
yeah.
No,
I
that's a
remember
fact.
that.
Yeah, but my pops was when I told him I wasn't no Raider fan. That wasn't like you could just. He what?
Right.
What you mean? Like we
Right.
gotta I'm like, nah, I ain't no Raider fan.
Yeah, it gets
I don't
heavy.
get to just tell. Raider fans is. I'm breeding Raider fans.
That's
Right,
That's
right,
how they are.
right,
they are.
right. And I gotta speak on the fact, in the NFL right now, it's a trending thing. The disrespect that the running backs are receiving right now by the league, I'm not really happy about it. I'm gonna start with Saquon Barkley of the Giants, who has been a player on the team for about 5 or 6 years. He has gotten banged up. He has not played, all the time. But when he's on the field, he produces. He's one of the top backs in the league. He accounts for 40% of the New York Giants offense. For them not to negotiate an extension for him, the franchise tag expired. Now he's got to play under the tag if he decides to play. If he doesn't decide to play and he sits out, he's losing about $500,000 a game. So he's in a tough spot. Shout out to Saquon Barkley, though, because he battled back from a nasty knee injury. These guys go through a lot of stuff, man, behind the scenes, the weight room, the conditioning, coming back from surgery. These guys go through so much, not just the physical element, but the emotional and the mental component. Because football is not just physicality. There's an emotional component to the game. So I just wanted to voice, my love for Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs of the Raiders, who also, they didn't work anything out with the Vegas Raiders. He led the league in rushing last year, 1,600 yards on the ground. He had 12 touchdowns. I mean, you got to pay these guys.
Yeah.
Now, you can't just take anybody, in my opinion, who comes out of college and just put them in like it's a box of Legos. Oh, you went to TCU. Let me put you in here. You going to put up the same numbers that Saquon or Josh Jacobs put up? Really?
Nope.
What you think about that?
Yeah, I think I don't think you could just plug in a running back. I mean, my man made a good point earlier. What they were saying, how they switching the game like it was tall centers, and now they not leaning so much to the running back, which kind of makes sense. But I just feel like you got to show some type of care. Just let them know that you care a little bit. When you leave them out there like that, it's like you don't care. And they put a lot of time in, a lot of effort to make it here. And then they finally here. And then it's like you get through to the side. It's like, nah, somebody got to make sure they right. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Real talk.
Yeah, running backs everybody love a running back. You know what I mean? It's like, how y'all gonna not take care of them? You got to do that, man.
Running backs, everybody a big fan.
Yeah,
of
them
running
little
backs.
2 yards be really winning the game.
That's a
Sometimes
fact.
Got to work for it.
Yeah.
They thinking it's them long passes and all that, but it be them first downs sometimes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, man. And there's a few exceptions, man, like Pacheco of Kansas City. He was drafted in the 7th round. He was a rookie last year. He was a major component to the Chiefs' success in winning the Super Bowl. But Kapeash, I'm a pivot to you, man. What are your thoughts on what's going on in the league where these running backs are not getting the love that I feel they deserve?
I feel like they should be, getting what they should, deserve. They should get paid, and they got to get more love. They're being disrespected out there. You know what I mean? So just show them love and don't put them to the side, It's some shady business to me,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even feel like they really take care of them when they finish their career. I seen some like documentary, and it was just showing like how a lot of people get overweight or they just been beat up, kind of like
CTE.
like Muhammad
CTE.
Ali. Yeah, it was just like wow, but it ain't really nothing set up for that. It's just like
they're getting destroyed out there. So it's like they got to be even after the
It's
game,
tough,
kind
man.
of. Yeah.
I mean, we saw last year, thank God the brother's all right, but DeMar Hamlin, who basically died on the field.
That was crazy.
They brought him back to life.
Was
Shout out to the Bills medical staff and everybody who helped save his life. But, that's a perfect example of, these guys take the field, man, and you never know. That could be it.
That was a hard
You know what I mean? That could literally be it. So I'm just a big believer that they need to basically get their money if they've earned the right to get a bigger contract. Check this out, man. The Giants, and I don't have the exact numbers, but through my NFL circles and people I know, my sources, they make per season, just off of parking and concessions, they make about $30 million a year. That's not including ticket sales or merchandise. Just off of parking the car, going to get a soda, a hot dog, whatever, right? $30 million. Okay.
Wow.
They couldn't come to terms and meet Saquon. $3 to $4 million was basically the stalemate. That was the gap that they couldn't bridge. So you really cannot take care of this dude with an additional $3 to $4 million when you're making $30 million more in concessions and parking.
They could.
What does that tell you?
Cheap.
They
They're being
could,
cheap.
but I know this. When you get into,
You feel me?
Greedy.
When
Yeah,
you get
greedy
into
as
negotiations, sometimes it'll pass numbers up, and it'll get into like a who got the biggest ego, or who the biggest sometimes, and sometimes somebody got to be the bigger man and just bow out because it just keep going back and forth sometimes. So it would seem like the NFL would be the bigger man. They huge corporation versus one player. They could easily just say, all right, maybe we can't give you the $4 million. Let's just give you $2 million, and instead of just leaving it
And
to
negotiate.
get locked like that.
Well, unfortunately, it's up to the owners. The league oversees, the teams, but these owners, they have the ability to independently say, okay, I'm going to take care of this dude.
My budget.
When you got him, he accounts for 40% of their offense. That's almost half
That's not even like
of their production on the
That's
field.
almost like not even a negotiation. It's
That's
almost
a no-brainer.
Like, let's feed my man and get him, keep him comfortable and happy.
Yeah, I agree.
That's almost like they do that to the quarterback. They do that for franchise players, but sometimes it's like put him into that category.
Yeah. Real talk.
40%.
Real talk.
You automatically at a D, even if you do everything else from there and you move him out the way.
Right.
Can't get an A.
Right.
You need that A plus, man. He give you 40%. Now you starting already up there, and you do the other 60%. You got an A. Yeah, that way sound much more
Right.
better.
One other thing I want to chop it up with you about, and we appreciate you being here, man.
Yeah,
You
man,
and
for
TB,
real.
bro.
Appreciate
It's been
you.
real.
Great
It's
time.
been love.
Yes.
Talk about life on the road, man, because you've done some touring.
Yeah.
You've been on the road with other artists. Tell me about who you were rocking with and that experience of being on the road.
One of the main, because I opened up on different tours all over the road, but one of the main shows where I opened up like on the tour back to back to back, and then I was supposed to go overseas was The Game.
Okay. Shout out to the game.
Yeah,
Shout
a lot of
Game.
people don't know that we related. I don't really talk about
Okay.
it, but that's really like my cousin.
Okay.
And the whole time I be doing music, I never try to implement.
He's
him.
never
I
dropped his
just
name.
Do my own thing.
Major.
So
What'd I tell you?
one time I was doing the show, I opened up for him, and I sold 100 tickets to the show. And I think all the open artists usually show 50 tickets, but the whole show had sold out. So I was the only person really with tickets left, so I was selling them.
Grinding.
And it brought everybody out. We had a big show. And then at the end, somebody had told him, like, oh, that was the opener who had opened up the show and had it cracking, because I be tearing the shows up. So sometimes the people will hear backstage, because it's always like a little TV in the backstage room. But
Yeah,
if
where
the
you can see what's going on.
Yeah, if the backstage is cracking more, you ain't watching the TV. But if you hear or something, it's the looking. And it was that. So when it all spent around, he realized it was me, and it was like, that's Lil Cuzzo.
Yeah.
And
Right.
then we end up talking, and I end up going on the rest of the tour for that one. And it was he do the Novo Observatory,
Right.
and then Observatory in San Diego, and then they
Okay.
went overseas. And my passport came a little late, so I had missed that play. But I'm watching them get on.
Yeah.
I seen him
Yeah.
give you
that
some
was a
wise
good one.
words.
Yeah, we was talking about,
chopped it up.
like, they was telling me it ain't even no coats out here that's ready for that type of weather out there, and them different rushes and different you like
Sweden and Denmark and all that.
your coat out there.
Yeah.
It's a matter like how many layers is in the coat. So I was getting close to going to that, but I didn't been all over. I didn't have shows in Kansas City. I usually drive I've been
Okay.
flying lately. We've been in Miami. We've been going to New York. We've been I performed in Las Vegas, Arizona. Pretty much the West Coast of it, and then some East Coast. But I got to start going down south now, like Atlanta.
Yeah.
I've been getting calls to go out there.
Yeah.
And it's just about expanding, man. Learning to tell LA about LA. It's only so much you can tell them, but the rest of the world, they love to hear about LA. So you just gotta
right
and take it out there.
Right.
But now it's big enough here, so when they check back home, they like, oh yeah, no, he doing this thing out here. So when they figure I'm doing the thing, it's a beautiful play.
Right, and let our viewers know who are watching the show and tapping in. Your website, first of all, your website, your Instagram, and then TB as well. Give them your information when he's done.
My website is The Real Young LA. The TheRealYoungLA.com. The IG is the same handle. YouTube, you search that and it's the same handle. So for the most part, them the three things I be on. If you click on one of those, it'll all link us together. Bro.
Okay.
Real Young LA, you got everything on there. We got a clothing store, we got a studio, barbershop, different merch, CDs, everything is up for sale, man.
Right, sky's the limit, right?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
And we independent, no investors. This is
grinding.
That's cool.
This is all from the mud. You know?
I love it, man. I love it, TB.
Sure, man. They call me TB, aka the business. You can follow me on Instagram at TheBiznesss. That's 3 S's. And if you want to buy some beats, you can either contact me personally. I am an artist and producer, so if you need a feature or anything too, you can get into contact with me there as well. And if you want to just buy beats and go to the catalog, you can go to www.airbit.com/profile/thebiznesss. That's TheBiznesss. Once again.
Dope.
Okay. Good. Okay. Well, it's been official, man. It's been all love. We got my man, the Real Young LA on the couch. We got TB on the couch. It's your boy Mac B. Kapeash. You're watching Sports Hop. Holla.
Peace.
Yeah. Thanks for watching Sports Hop. Subscribe here for all the latest info on hip hop and sports news. Peace.